Hello, my name is Zach Calhoun, and I'm doing my video over student diversity in our classrooms today. Um, at my school in Des Arc, Arkansas, we have a ton of diversity, whether it's socioeconomic, um, uh, gender, race, anything along those lines. It is pretty diverse for such a small town. So let's begin in this PowerPoint. Student diversity. The impact. Student diversity makes a huge impact in our schools daily, especially with language, beliefs, values, attitudes, expectations, and prime examples of diversities in our schools. I experience this every day in our classroom. Our school is full of farmers, and so a lot of times I get a lot of kids that miss school because they have to work with their parent on the farm. So a lot of times parents will allow kids to skip school, and so I have I have a hard time trying to keep kids motivated into trying to stay active in their schoolwork or turn things in on time because they just think I'm going to go to the farm anyway, and then that'll be life. So this is just a job basically. So we try to motivate them in understanding that they could get an ag business degree, something that can help them succeed even more beyond what they could imagine. So socioeconomic, like I said, I tried to sit there and pursue with them that they should go to college. They might struggle sometimes, like with school supplies. So I always provide a cup of pencils, even have stacks of paper that they could use. Again, a lot of my kids work, so the stress that comes along with that, I might allow them to do assignments on extended time because I understand their work life and that it's a little difficult at times, and they might not have all the time in the world when they get home at 11 o'clock at night from work. Ethnicity and race. Again, the big thing is being fair and being equal in opportunity. So trying to prevent segregation, understanding some home lives based on ethnicity alone, like the stereotypes. Again, test scores, we understand that mainly whites and Asians tend to have higher test scores, and our African American students tend to have lower test scores. So maybe I need to pay more attention to those students in the classroom if I see any signs of struggling, so on and so forth. And again, poverty is part of that too. Language, I deal with this every day. Again, I'm 24, so I tend to pick up on the slang in the language a lot easier than most teachers, since most of our teachers are a little bit older. So I can connect a little bit there, and so communication is key when it comes to trying to tell these kids what I want and what I expect. So they tend to give me a little bit more respect and tend to do more in the classroom to do well because of this, because we can relate and they think I understand them. Again, it creates a relationship and a communication line. Again, multicultural education is a part of this. We can integrate the stuff that's diverse into our lesson plan, so make stuff that's relatable. Make an example that's relatable to them, and that will inspire them to want to learn more or be more involved. Using an example from their home life, and then they'll be more inclined to participate in group discussions, so on and so forth. Gender is a big thing. We want to obviously use appropriate language and not be sexist in any kind of way. Be fair, give everybody an equal opportunity, whether that's calling on certain students at certain times, so on and so forth. Again, we want to eliminate harassment and bullying and create a climate of acceptance, because that could also lead into gender identity in whether their sexual orientation, so on and so forth. Intelligence and learning styles. This is a big one for me because every kid has different learning styles and we need to mix it up. So whether that means we need to do hands-on reading, like visual stuff, or audio learning, that is something big there. Our students also have different IQs, so I say let's bring real world examples to let the student community aid each other. Obviously, we know that in our classrooms, we can do group work, which eventually, whenever they get into their work world, they will do things as teams and they'll have to solve issues as a team. And this will help them in real world examples. So, the way I would say this is if you're working in groups, students can see other students' views. So, this could help them. See their point of view and go, well, I never thought of it that way. I could use that, and I'm going to think of that next time this topic comes up. So it creates a more broad expansion of their mind. They'll be able to sit there and go, well, I can think more like this now instead of how I originally was thinking, or add it to their repertoire. And that is student diversity.